Yes, okay. I will be taking you through the basis of performing penetrant testing on a weld. I will be taking you through the basis of how to perform penetrant testing on a weld. But here we are. I'm just going to do it on this particular pipe, and this butt, this weld we have here is a butt weld, and it's not a fresh weld. Um, as you can see, if it is performed on the site, it is better done on a fresh weld. But if the weld is also old, there is no problem. So because we are using a weld that has been done for a long period of time, so you are going to be using the techniques that is required in performing penetrant testing inspection on a particular joint. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Engineer Peter. I'm an NDT personnel. I was trained in Chinese construction company called Shinli in Dangote Refinery. I'm a manager here and my people. So now I'm going to the first steps in performing penetrant testing is to, on this particular weld, on this particular butt weld, is to first to brush the weld and brush all the rust away from it so that the weld can appear clean and neat to avoid false indication. I'm going to be explaining what false indication means as time goes on, but for the benefit of those that are just beginner, I'm going to start with brushing of this weld. Come along with me and let me show you. And before that, you must have to perform a successful penetrant testing inspection. You must have your penetrant, your red penetrant, your cleaner. I'm sorry, I've used this before on the site. You will have your what is it? Your developer. A white developer. You have your clothes for cleaning. Your clothing must be very clean and neat. Cotton wool made of clothes. That's what you are going to use. You are not going to use any clothes that's having perforation or any nylon type of clothes. Okay. So that being said, you must make sure you are not using an expired product. So you can check the lot number and the batch number of the product. You know how to check the batch number and where to check for the expiry, if the expiry date of the product. You know. Okay, that being said, let's go down to the steps. But before the steps, I will let you know why penetrant testing is very important. You know, after welding, we want to know if there is a pinhole. You want to know if there is a pinhole or any form of discontinuity on the butt, on the weld. We have different kind of joints, but I'm using butt weld. Okay, because you know what butt weld is. The taking of two different pipes and joining it together. Okay. Now, so you want to know if there is a kind of discontinuity. We have different type of discontinuity, but the ones that I'm thinking of trying to find here is maybe pinhole, intermittent discontinuity. So the first thing I'm going to, okay, now back to the steps that you need in performing penetrant testing. You need to first of all brush the weld, because this weld is an old weld. Then you need to do what? Do what we call pre-cleaning. The pre-cleaning method, you can use the cloth and your cleaner. Your cleaner, you can see, and use your cleaner to first clean the weld very well to avoid false indication. It's just to avoid false indication, you know, and to make sure the weld is well prepared and fresh, you know. Then after the pre-cleaning, what you are going to do is to add your penetrant. Because this is a butt weld and I'm performing it on the table, I don't need to start taking the precautions of maybe it's 45 degree angle, because this is not a socket weld that I'm doing on the site. Okay, now then after you applied your penetrant, you will wait for the dwell time depending on the material. This material is carbon steel, you can see CS, carbon steel. If it is stainless steel or it is alloy steel, there is a acceptable standard. We have the ASMT, we have the ASME, that they use that determine the amount of dwell time that you will need for the penetrant to dry very well. It is best, penetrant testing is best done where the weather is a little bit sunny and hot, rather than doing it on the raining days. Okay. Now, after you have added your penetrant, you will wait for the dwell time for this penetrant to soak the weld very well. Every penetrant must be a little bit sticky. If your penetrant is not sticky, then it is wrong, because it is that stickiness that will allow it to penetrate, to stay on the surface of the weld, penetrate if inside. If there's any form of pinhole, then by the time you have cleaned and you add your developer, the process of capillarity will take place. The penetrant will rise through the pinhole and it will surface. So join me as I go. And after you have cleaned the penetrant, then that process is called cleaning method. After you have cleaned it very well with your cleaner and your clothing, then you will now apply your developer, and you apply your developer almost immediately, or you can leave for 30 seconds, but almost immediately is very okay. So now allow it to show indication. So after it has shown it, then you can now clean the developer, which is called the post cleaning method. Why we clean the developer is just to avoid mess, to avoid mess. Some of these developer are chemically inert, they don't affect the metal. Okay, those are one of the major characteristics of some of these developer. But in case you don't know, if your developer can affect the material, you can also clean it and you are all safe. So what I'm going to be doing now, this is my brushing machine that I'm going to use. My brushing machine must be a CS based brushing machine and not that of SS, to avoid causing any form of physical defect to my weld. So I'll start. Okay. Now I will cut the video.